So I want to talk about something that I think is very, very important, and that is finding a quiet place, right? What I mean by quiet place is some place that's free from all of the distractions of the world, the everyday distractions. Might be some distractions there, just different, more quiet, more calm, more peaceful distractions. Those are a lot easier to deal with, than the loud sounds of the world. The people, the machines, and all of that other good stuff, even your mind, When I say find a quiet place, I do mean physically. Get somewhere where there's not a lot of noise. Every once in a while, take some time out for yourself, but also mentally, away from all of the thoughts and the pressures and the distractions of the day-to-day. Because what that is something to keep you maxed out, I like to call it. Hyper engaged, meaning you're just dealing with everything from second to second, minute to minute, hour to hour, right? Kind of like when you go to work and you have one of them days where things go by so fast that when you get finished, you wonder where the time went. Wow, time's up already, right? If you're not careful, you can get these days back to back to back. Before you know it, not just the days gone by, but the weeks gone by. Then not just the weeks gone by, but the months gone by. Then that month becomes a year, and then years. Think about that for a second. If you're a little bit older, 30 and up, think about how fast the last decade went by. The last 2 decades went by. When you look in the mirror, you see somebody who doesn't even look necessarily how you imagine yourself. That time went by like that, right? That's because you were so engaged that you didn't even recognize the passage of time, at least not in any way that has any kind of depth to it. You got to hit the pause button sometimes, right? Sometimes you got to hit that pause button. Like me, right now I am out on the water, out on the lake, just paddling around, enjoying nature, right? But if you notice, I'm not like constantly paddling around the lake. Sometimes I pause. I drift a little bit. And it's quiet. When you allow yourself to experience some quiet, as a wise man once told me, that's when God talks to you, right? Those quiet times, that's when you can really hear God. Now, whether you are a religious person or not is irrelevant, because I'm not going to go there right now, but we can get into that topic of God, who God really is, what God really is. I could have you here for hours, right? Now, I will give you this. I would say God is not all off on the other side of the universe, out amongst the stars, far away from you. That's the programming that you were given, that everything is outside of yourself. Everything's happening outside of yourself, and everything's far away from you. I don't believe that. I would venture to say that God is within us, right? I mean, think about it. If you're religious, think about this. If you're not religious, just think about the last time you heard a voice speaking to you, right? In your head. What did that voice sound like? Was it loud and thunderous? Like he had a lightning bolt in his hand? All right? Some old gray-haired man with his deep voice. Son, listen to me. I have a message for you. Was it that voice? Was it some sweet, soft voice? Now, baby, this is what you need to do now. I'm trying to help you. Was it that voice? Or was it you? Your voice? Did you hear your own voice? But did it sound like you were talking to yourself, maybe? Right? I mean, anytime I've heard a voice in my head, if I really look back at it and think about it, you know, the voice in the form of a thought, these words, it was always me, my voice. Does that make me insane? A lot of people will tell you that makes you insane. Hear your own voice. But in any case, God, however you look at God, that's when God talks to you, when it's quiet. Well, that's when you can hear that voice better. Don't want to run you off. Don't get scared and say, you know, thinking that if you take some time for yourself or let things quiet down and really listen to your own thoughts, that somehow it makes you a bad person. You know, somebody will come in and tell you, lean not toward your own understanding. and they, oh God, they will use that all wrong, right? Those words all wrong. They tell you, convince you that you're either insane or you're going to hell because you think for yourself. What I'm saying is, take some time out to stop and think, right? Reflect, understand, comprehend, right? Slow down a little bit. Just slow things down. A lot of times that's why we can't get things done. That's why we can't get problems solved, you know? Because we won't slow down. So, in short, all I'm saying is take some time out for yourself. Find you a quiet place so that you can free your mind up and don't focus on thinking. You know, don't say that's like somebody they're going to meditate, so they're just going to focus so hard on meditating that they never really meditate. Because meditation is not really more, it's less, right? Just relax. Take some time. Find yourself a quiet place. I promise you, it'll do wonders. So on that note, do something to make yourself better. Because if I know anything, it's this. When you become a better person, your world becomes a better place. Peace.